everyone, it's Budget Bunny here, back with Honey and Rocky, and today's video is a request video, and it's all about why you should spay and neuter your rabbits. So the most obvious reason to spay and neuter your rabbits is to prevent unwanted pregnancies. Rabbits are the third most abandoned animal in shelters, and a lot of it is because people don't realize that they need to be fixed to prevent all the unwanted hormones that they're going to develop when they hit about 4 to 6 months old. It's also really important if you're going to have multiple rabbit household, because gestation is only 1 month for rabbits, and usually in a litter they can have anywhere from 4 to 10 kits. So that's a lot of bunnies. They can also get pregnant again right after they've given birth. Not only that, but their personality can become dictated by their hormones. So you may notice if you have a baby rabbit that at first they're really cute and snuggly and they like to play and they may even like to cuddle and be picked up and carried around. And then when they do hit that 4 to 6 months old, their hormones take over. This is kind of their teenager phase. So they become pretty grumpy. They may become cage protective, so when you put your hands in the cage, they may lunge at you. They may even nip at you if they feel really defensive. They may also start marking their territory, so they could be running around your house, urinating or pooping everywhere. I know Rocky, before he was fixed, he actually sprayed me a lot. And as endearing as it was that he felt I was his territory, it was also pretty gross. Your rabbit may also try to hump your leg or your foot because, again, they have all these extra hormones and they have no way to act them out. In females, it can also cause false pregnancies. These can be pretty hard on your rabbit because basically they're going through all the stages of pregnancy without actually being pregnant. This could cause them also to be more aggressive with you, and for them to actually rip out their fur and create nests. And it's just things that your rabbit doesn't really need to go through. It's extra stress on them, and it prevents you from having a good experience and bonding with your rabbit. It's very important for females to be spayed because studies have shown that anywhere from up to 75% of female rabbits won't make it to the age of 5 if they're not spayed, because that's the percentage of how many rabbits that aren't fixed die of uterine cancer. And although they don't have an exact number for males, they have found that cancers are increased as well with male rabbits that aren't neutered. Rabbits are very social animals, but they're also very territorial. So they need to be fixed before they're introduced to one another to prevent fighting. I don't know if anyone's had a bad bonding experience, but I have, and it was so traumatic. Willow actually just lunged right for Honey's neck, and I've never heard a rabbit scream before. It was so terrifying, and luckily no skin was broken. They were both fixed, but it just wasn't going to work out with the two of them. So imagine two rabbits where their hormones are dictating what's going on with them and dictating how they react to each other. They're going to fight for their territory, and they will fight to the death. Like, it's very serious. So they really need to be fixed first before you introduce them to one another. Opposite sex pairs do work best with bonding. That doesn't mean that you can't have same-sex pairs. From YouTubers that I watch all the time, there are many that have same-sex pairs. In that case, it is best to have two that are from the same litter. However, I have seen that it works, with introducing two that didn't know each other, but again, they really need to be fixed first and introduced on neutral territory. And of course, if you have opposite pairs like I do, they need to be fixed so that they don't get pregnant. It also can improve litter box habits because it's taking away that urge for them to mark their territory They're more prone to use their litter box because they'll want to pick a designated area to use the toilet. So the only time I think a rabbit shouldn't be fixed is where it's going to put their health in danger. So I think I've mentioned this before, but Ollie actually isn't neutered. That's because he has a heart condition, and because of that heart condition, he can't go under any anesthesia. It's unfortunate because he can't be housed with Willow. We're very, very lucky that Ollie has such a sweet and amazing personality. He is able to have playtime with Willow. And I'm also very lucky that Willow doesn't feel that he's a threat and they get along really well. But in the spring months, it's really hard. She gets stressed out even during playtime because, again, he's chasing her and trying to mount her the entire time. This time of year, I find that he's perfectly fine and he acts like any bonded rabbit would. But that's why they're not housed together, and it's an unfortunate reality for us. But as a whole, that to me is a major exception to the rule. Any of your rabbits should be fixed. I'll give you another example of Rocky and Honey. So Honey was a baby rabbit when we got her. She was maybe 6 or 8 weeks old, and Rocky was already a neutered male, and I introduced them on neutral ground. They were absolutely inseparable until Honey hit that teenager phase around 4 to 6 months old, and suddenly it became a dominance issue. She was fighting Rocky for dominance, constantly humping and nipping him because she wasn't fixed, and her hormones were playing a part in that. But Rocky was fixed, so he believes, and because he's a male and older, he believed that he should be the dominant rabbit. So we did have to separate them for a while. At that point, they weren't living together. They were only having playtime together. And about 2 months after Honey was spayed, that's when we reintroduced them, and they've been inseparable ever since. But again, another example of showing why you really need to spay and neuter your rabbits, because those hormones, they totally change the behavior of your rabbit. And even if you aren't going to have a pair of rabbits like I do, you really do need to spay and neuter them for yourself, because, you know, as I've told you, the spraying, the humping, the chasing, the cage protectiveness, those are all reasons that people get rid of their rabbits, because they don't understand. Oh, Rocky's actually getting a little frisky right now. So people don't understand that these are hormonal behaviors, and that's why so many rabbits end up at shelters, because they're just really misunderstood. People get them as a cute, snuggly little gift, and often as Easter presents, without really realizing all the care that a rabbit takes. So even if you're not going to have a bonded pair, you really need to consider spaying or neutering your rabbit for health reasons and hormonal reasons, and just to have an overall better experience with your rabbit. When you're picking a vet, you can't just go to any vet. You need one that's actually licensed in exotics and is very familiar with rabbits. Rabbits have really sensitive systems and different anatomy, especially females. And you need someone who is, you know, specialized in rabbits. So when you're looking for a vet, you need to ask them if they treat rabbits, and you can also test them. So when I called around, I asked, you know, what kind of the pre-care and aftercare was for rabbits. The kind of answers you're looking for are that rabbits are not to fast before surgery. Any other, like cats and dogs, are not to have any food. I think it's about 8 or 12 hours before surgery. With rabbits, this can actually shut down their system. So if you're talking to the vet and they tell you that your rabbit needs to stop eating, you know, at 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock the night before their surgery, this is not the person that you want to take your pet. If they're going to give you an antibiotic, it can't be any kind of medication that has any kind of those psyllin endings, like penicillin or amoxicillin or anything like that, because those are not safe for your rabbit. And you can also ask them how many rabbits they've fixed in the past, how many, current families bring their rabbits to see them. Make sure that they're fully comfortable with fixing your rabbit. The first veterinary clinic I took Rocky to, no problems. They seemed really confident with him. I had no issues. I brought Honey and Willow there, and just talking to the vet, they seemed almost uneasy that they were females. I don't know why someone didn't tell me this on the phone, but I didn't get a good feeling about it. So I ended up canceling the appointment. We didn't get them fixed that day, and I shopped around for a few more months until I found a veterinary hospital that I knew I could trust, and obviously we had absolutely no problems with them. They take great care, and now that's where I bring my rabbits. So hopefully I've covered everything in this video. I just really want you guys to understand that it is really, really important to spay or neuter your rabbit. Please consider it when you're getting a rabbit, as it's a fixed cost. It's something that you're gonna have to do. As you guys know, Callie's fixed. All of our pets are fixed that should be fixed. And it's just to prevent those hormonal issues, it's to prevent medical issues, and it's to prevent any territorial issues or anything that's going to come in the way of you bonding with your animal. So that's it for today, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!